a couple of my cousins. Yeah, it was a good time.
In the North Iowa ballot, it looked like Emily Hanksman and Rachel Wu were running against each other. I think a lot of people, there's one, they're both right next to each other, but they actually were running unopposed, both of them. And I would guess that's why Emily Hanks or Rachel Wu received fewer votes, because some of them might have voted for a lot of only one. Yeah.
And those are just ones to look at. All the signature pages are in the one that you have, Bill.
Yeah, except there's plenty of signatures.
Yes, there is. 5 copies of each thing.
Mm.
Can you look at YouTube and make sure it looks okay? It looks weird on my computer. I don't know.
Sure, it's just not us.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Thank you.
Are you ready? Yep. All right, you ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all. So when you provide ballots to a location, where you kind of go off of the last election, how many you take there,
Yeah.
and how often people turned out, is what happened.
So what we did is we, like the last 2 elections, and that's 5, which we had like an average of 130 voters, and then we take it times like 10%. And we actually went more than that. We ordered 500 ballots for Forest City, but absentee too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Plus 3 would be 6, yeah.
So, and then we had 800 people show total for Forest City.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the 15 school election, I had 1 absentee. The 13, I had, I think, 14 or 15. Yeah, so that's like unheard of for a school election.
Yeah.
Like the Buffalo here, you say you've got 374 delivered and 391 returned.
they ran out of ballots, so we took absentee ballots over there too.
Plus, some of the numbers are different because they had to use their OVI machine, which is their own ballot. So, it wasn't necessarily a ballot we gave them, but it went into the machine. So it's kind of skewed up that way.
Paper or something like that.
Yeah, it was, everything that could go wrong during an election went wrong at every precinct at the same time during the election.
Yeah.
That about sums it up, yeah.
Everything.
That night, Troy Meyer was a little excited.
Yeah, he was in here too.
Did
Mhm.
he? Was he quiet?
He wasn't bad. Mhm.
I just told him, this is my guess to be, is that there's a lot more people turning out, and
Mhm.
that's just gonna be a lot more. It probably looks good for you with passing, because the people that were dead set against it were there the first time.
Right.
It's just simple majority, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now I had heard once that it would be 60%.
And 60% in North Iowa's wouldn't have passed
That
then.
was like 59%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's only one of the bond issues that it has to be.
60%?
Yep.
So all in all, it went smoothly.
Yeah. And all went smoothly by jerks.
Yeah.
By Murphy's Law, it went smoothly.
It went something.
So I didn't have time to go vote, but if I was to vote, I live in Lake Mills District. I normally vote in Leland. Would they have had Lake Mills ballots in Leland,
Did it like Mills.
I would have had to go to Lake Mills.
Yeah. And that's the confusion for some people, is because you vote at one place for the primary in general, and you could vote another for the school. So it's,
But that'll all
People are
change in 19,
confused.
because
Yeah.
we'll use our, except for rate, we'll use our general precinct, general election precincts for everything now.
and we won't have a school election separate. They'll both be in November
Oh,
for 19.
The other really great thing about that is that we won't go out of our county anymore. We will be just in our county. Because we're the control district for North Iowa, Forest City, and
Lake
Lake
Mills.
Mills, we have to go to Crystal Lake, Joyce, Lakota, Fertile, and Crystal Lake. Did I say Crystal Lake?
Yeah.
so then
It's a big
at
lake.
that point, when that happens, they just report to you the numbers?
Yep.
Okay,
Kind of like NIAC right now.
okay.
We report our NIAC numbers to Cerro Gordo. And they're the control.
Will you still have to go to Dakota?
No,
Yeah, that'll be nice.
which is nice, because,
Did you have to go to Lakota this time?
yes. It's a long day setting up and tearing down when you have to go to all those places outside the county too.
Well, you know, sometime we'll just get to the point where we just go to our computer, you know, retina recognition, and vote on your computer, it's done. We never go out of our house. We just listen to AJ on the radio and
Well, if somebody hasn't got you by the hair, hold your head facing the computer to get the retina.
Oh, no. That would be rather difficult for a person like myself.
Yeah, to figure out how to put a plunger in.
Exactly, get the brown there.
is there action required on this?
Uh,
I think in the past, we've done a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the canvas of the school election.
Second. Motion Jeremy, second Stan to approve the canvass of the 2017 school election. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consider for approval the Winnebago County Auditor requests administrative recount of the Forest City Precinct in the Office of Director 1, District 1 due to the PEO's report counting errors the order after the conclusion of the canvass votes in the precinct.
What's PEO?
Precinct election official. So we voted, we had to make paper copies of our ballot to take down the Forest City Ward 1, or the Forest City precinct. So, after the election, we had to hand count those ballots. And one of the precinct election officials after the fact said, I just don't like this, I don't think it's right, or I don't know what she said. It was reported to me that she didn't think it was accurate. So, because of that, I'm calling a recount for the Forest City Director District 1. If you guys approve that, it'll be Monday at 1 o'clock.
It's just going off of someone thinking it wasn't right.
After the election, Jan Buffington, she read who got the vote, I did the tally. And Sandy Lopez, they took out the ballots. Sandy Lopez said that she didn't think what they did was accurate. And I'm not sure why, but because of that, I would like to have a recount.
You want it?
Yes.
And there's no question.
Then there's no question.
Well, this is my district, I'll make a motion to approve the recount for the Forest City precinct.
I'll second that.
Motion by Jeremy, second by Stenger to approve a recount. For district one.
So how's that handled? You do the same thing all over again, just sit there and somebody park
So-
off the call?
Because half of it was hand count ballots, half of it was machine counted ballots, we're gonna take all the ballots and hand count them. Which could change the election results in itself, because when you hand count, there are different standards than when you machine count. So,
Is there an official process, you
Yes.
talk about, you tally somebody's things, and you put them into piles and count from the piles, and
so,
So like if there's mistakes on the ballot,
so like,
the hand count will pick it up more than the,
So it'll be like undervotes and overvotes,
Yeah.
just like the machine picks up.
so on the, just for an example, there was, say the ballot looked like this. There was one ballot that I saw where the person did that and then filled in like this. Well, in the machine, Bill's doesn't count.
Yeah.
But when we hand count, Bill's vote will count. So that's where it's gonna be different.
Yeah, Florida all over again.
Yeah, we got a hanging chat. Did you have a hanging chat? Good.
So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll send pizza over, because you guys gonna be here that long.
Could you just do it like 6?
Yeah, first supper would be great.
No problem, on the house, you got it.
Chelsea and I get violent if we don't eat, so.
Yeah, hangry comes out real fast.
But so that's, if the results are different, this is the reason why. Because the standards for hand counting versus the machine count are different.
So if 2 sections are filled in, both of those sections count.
Well, so like,
Just depends on how they fill in the box.
so like this would count for a hand count.
Oh.
It wouldn't count in a machine count.
So they check bills, but they fill in the no count.
Yeah, they check after Bill's name, not actually in the box even.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just-
so,
even if it's outside the boundary, as long as it's within that row.
It
So,
looks like they.
when you do a hand
Right.
count, you have to show it. If it looks like there is intent from the voter, you have to count it. Whereas the machine count, it has to be in the little box.
Whether there's intent to poke out the chat or not.
You know?
Does that include like his intent, like a spot of blood on it or something? I had
I don't think we'll go that far.
many years ago, I voted and there was a spot of blood on it.
So there is a very detailed
Criteria.
document that we will go through and make
Yeah.
sure that if there's a question, we will read the document and make sure everything is counted the way it's supposed
Does
to.
it meet the criteria?
Yes.
Hillary was just on TV talking about the hanging Chad election too.
At least it'll only be one district instead of having to do all
The whole
the
county.
precincts, yeah.
Goes for that.
800.
Oh, that's right, there was one.
In that case, I'll send pizza at 6 and at 1 o'clock.
Caffeine's always appreciated.
Just place your orders at the police department, I'm there all night long, as you can tell, I'm all wrinkled up from sleeping in the office.
They said the caffeine and coffee are good for you again, but is it still good for you? They said that you're not supposed to drink coffee or anything with caffeine in it when you're pregnant. Is that still true? or not?
In moderation, yeah. I don't drink coffee anyway, so I don't have to worry about it, but
It's good for you again.
yeah, it
Makes me
changes
happy.
every other month, I
People that
think.
drink more than 4 cups a day have a much lower rate of dementia. I've been pouring on it.
I was gonna say, you drinking a couple pots
No
then,
matter what, I mean, it's in my family.
Okay, then we'll move on to discussion of possible action regarding check writing and insurance for employees for the mental health region.
So, I know we talked about this yesterday, Bill, and we talked about not going to this, but what I'm scared of is that what if they won't let us out of the region? Then we've missed our chance to,
You can go, it's fine. I just, my guess would be is that the same people that did not pick Sandy with 29 years more experience than the second place candidate to run our quadrant, the same people in charge of picking this is so our odds are against it. But, actually to go, because when Bob was there Tuesday, I think he came possibly to fire Sandy because she does not agree with the direction that it's heading, and she's making it known at the quadrant meeting, so therefore she is not going to be an asset to Bob, or the quadrant, or whatever. And then at that meeting, she spewed it out that we voted to possibly try to leave the region. It upset everybody there. Actually, Jody Draper got mad, got up and left the meeting because she was.
This is the same person that forgot to send us the audit.
Yes, it's. Well, that might have been Carr.
no, it was Jody.
Was it Jody?
Mhm.
Yeah. Jody has. She gets upset easily. But we can, I mean, you can go to it and
Nothing else,
see whether, you can hear what went on there.
if nothing else, we learn more about the process, and it may be something we can use later when we're deciding whether we're gonna leave the region or not. If we apply, make our proposal and it's rejected, but has no good justification for it.
Well, that's the other, when I went to that meeting yesterday, there were not a lot of people there. But it was information that everybody should have. So, and if we do leave the region, somebody's gonna need to know that and be able to apply that. So I guess that's kind of where I'm looking at this stuff too, is if we're not there, somebody's still gotta do it. So,
Well, how many are threatening to leave?
Maybe.
Roger Kassuth, Roger Jarks, of course, he's been ready for a long time, but he brought it before his board and they unanimously said they would go with us.
Word?
And, yeah, all our 3 counties and Kassuth. And then, if that should happen, then Emmett would either have to go with the west region or with us because they wouldn't touch the
I think
rest
saying
of the
there's a
region.
possibility that because they existing relationship with the region, they can stay with the region.
Yeah,
There's a possibility.
and truthfully, I can't understand why you can't do that. I don't know what the boundary really has to do with it.
But this can be halted, maybe by statute, state statute.
Maybe.
Well,
Preclude us from leaving.
you have to get DHS approval, but I don't know how the hell they could stop you. I mean, if it,
That's what I said.
there is somebody there that thinks there are too many regions now, that they need to consolidate further, but that's somebody that, the more you lose local financial representation, control, all that stuff. There are a couple of 4 county regions now. There's one county region, but that's Polk. You said you thought there was a 3 county region?
Yeah, down by the southeast
I
Iowa.
thought that was 4 though.
Are the legislators up to speed on this? What's going on?
They've been contacted. I've talked to them about it already, but 2 of the legislatures that were at CSS meetings, after the last 2 CSS meetings, we had dinner with 2 of them, and I won't be able to say their names either, because I didn't know either one of them. One's from Northwood, a woman, was,
Jane Bloomingdale.
yeah, there you go, and she seemed to understand everything we said, and was kind of shocked about some of the things that go on as far as that. And then the other one is a guy from over east, and I don't remember his name.
Where's that from?
Younger guy. Yeah, all right, it could be him. Pretty sure.
So what's your concern? If we go this way, but aren't allowed to, then we're in the dust, or?
Well, we didn't get a chance at being,
We didn't get a chance to bid it.
and I asked Bob, is it just going to be you look at all proposals, pick the one you want, or are you going to look at all proposals and pick the cheapest one? Well, we'll use both of those factors.
Yeah, so that's.
And I would, if we do go, I would send Chris, because I have a recount on Monday, but like I said, if we end up out of the region, somebody's gotta know what's going on too.
Right.
So,
Yeah, Senator, yeah.
It's like at 10 o'clock. Should go with Chris, or
I thought about that too, I thought.
I would like you to.
I told Chris yesterday, before we set the public hearing, I said, I'm gonna see if Bill will go with. So, I think it would be a great idea if you want.
okay, I'll see if I can work it into my schedule. Anybody want to drive a bus?
Well, I got the license, I don't have the health certificate. Yeah, I do got my health certificate. But you also have bus certificate too, don't you?
Yeah, do you take the 3-hour bus class every year? Oh, then you have to, in order, before you can take that, you have to take a 17-hour online class.
Oh, really?
17-hour online class, it took me 25 hours.
I can drive everything but bus.
Yeah, that's what I can haul weapons of mass destruction, but I cannot haul children. Even the DOT recognizes the truth of threat.
Which one is more dangerous?
Yes.
Here's the map of regions. We talked to somebody from Franklin County about their region. And they're for the most part, they're happy down in their central Iowa region. So they're Franklin, Hardin, Hamilton, Boone, Story, Marshall, Jasper, Powashik, Warren, Madison.
Those
that
2
brown
down
there is,
there are 4.
There's 4 there, well,
There is 3 there. There is
the
3.
Sioux City one is 3, but that's a big town.
Yeah, you got it. Major city.
There's a smaller one in northwest Iowa. Lyon, Osceola, Dickinson, O'Brien, Clay, and Alpha.
Smaller
And then might
population
just go
wise.
that direction if they so choose.
Yeah. Or we could join that. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's our other option, is to join another region that's established that they're happy with.
Yeah.
We don't wanna upset their apple cart, but it may be
Yeah,
beneficial to
that,
them.
they may not want us. Troublemakers.
Well, Bob's the main bird in Sally, right?
Well, yeah, in the direction, he's really good at not giving you the whole truth.
Right.
And he says that this is the direction we have to go, but that's not true either. And, yeah, I think Bob, for the most part, wants to take care of the people. He just doesn't care what money comes from, or where it's spent.
So, what you just said about Bob is one of the reasons Franklin County did not go.
And he told Donnie, she can't talk to her supervisors.
Yeah.
Which I have to call her myself, and make sure that he wasn't saying it in jest,
Yeah.
that is possible. Sandy made it sound like it was a threat, which Donna would have to pay a little more attention to that threat, because he did not threaten Sandy with that, because he could. But
AJ, you had a take on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did very much.
Which was?
I had a take on it.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting quote.
Sometime over coffee,
Yeah.
we'll have a conversation. I'll give you my take, or Terry can, one of the two. But yeah, there's a curious end all to that.
Whether it's legal or not.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it is.
Technically, constitutionally, no government can preclude, or government agency can preclude a citizen from speaking to their government officials. It would be construed as censure, which can only be put forward by the Congress of the United States or the various state legislators which are a part of the Union of the United States. It is specifically stated, laid out, that you cannot do that. To do so means you must be in custody of that government.
You should sure think so.
So this state official is in violation of constitutional law, if he was to make that comment.
So if we were to be the fiscal agent for writing the checks, then they're looking at the possibility all those employees that work for the region would be on our benefits.
They're looking for everything to be done out of one county.
So Bob would work for us.
Technically, you would be an employee of Winnebago County, yes.
But we wouldn't have the full control, just the functional administration process.
So if the three of us were to vote not to send the dollars requested, but send what we came up with,
Like, so
yeah, the worst they could do is kick us out, right?
what's the process of that?
And I've said that many times, well, what are they gonna do to us? I mean, if we take our ball and go home, what are they gonna prosecute us? I can't see what the ramifications would be.
Right.
Kasuth is already spending down their, they lowered their levy.
But if we find out that we can take our balance with us if we leave,
You can, we have found that out.
you can't.
That if we pull out, we can take our percentage of the balance. And at one point, Kasuth did not know that, they do now. And they figured it out. I
Depends on the.
called Roger to tell him that, he goes, yeah, no, we figured it out.
So the critical thing is if you are giving them the money and they're spending it as fast as you're giving it to them, and there's no carryover balance, that's when you lose.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can get someone to drive bus in, and I'll go down to Chris, I guess.
Was there a deadline to secede from this group?
November 15th, I think, but we have to give them our
By
time,
the state code.
which I told Bob, I says, we're exploring our opportunities or our different choices. I says, we may end up staying right where we're at. Maybe there's nothing that's better. I says, so we may go with another region. I says, we're just exploring our options, and we have to let you know before November what our intentions may be. So if we do decide, we can move. If we don't let you know before then we can't. So before November, we have to give them some kind of official notice or whatever.
But we still have an opportunity the next months after that to pull out of that.
We can stay right where we're at, and make that choice too.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to, are we getting served? So what's your take on that?
Financially,
And for the people?
I think that, and Sandy is in agreement with this, is that we can take care of our people much better with our own money. Because we'll have much more money to spend on our own people. We may even possibly be able to save money. I'm not gonna say that because, like I told Bob, I says, it's not necessarily that we wanna lower our levy. I says that we just wanna use our money to take care of our own people. And each county should do that. I
You
says,
can't count on what the state's gonna do for mandates.
yeah, and, I've told him that every county's levy should, as close as possible, represent their population's use of the services. This is the whole rub with me is taking money from here and putting it over here. This is, I don't like that, no matter what level of government you're at. And it's happening more and more and more, so. Sandy was she was looking for that information that we got that, I don't know if she got it printed out or not. So. My emails, I can't go back anymore because on my new phone it stops me.
You have to search and then go
I
on.
hit search.
If you do a search for an email, say it was from Sandy, you do a search, Sandy, and it says you want to continue on the server, then you go to the server, and that's your older emails.
Well, which I can do it on my new phone. Won't let me go back to when it started. And maybe I'm not doing it right, but I can on my tablet or whatever. But I just never thought.
So, in my personal opinion, is I think we should look at it, look at the opportunity involved, and be up to speed on what's going on. We'll be, for the better, at least more educated.
So
If that was the case.
Bob couldn't understand why Sandy was upset. And I says, well, you guys both just told Sandy that she was instrumental in helping getting this quadrant organized because of her experience. So how did you not pick that experience? Even if it would have been only for a couple of years or whatever, because Sandy is not quite retirement age.
But she
For
could
her,
train
okay, she
the next
was,
person.
yeah. And I says, why wouldn't you pick her to get this whole thing going? And then when she decides to retire, then switch. Well, and I says, well, yeah, she wasn't quite on your page. And they did disagree with me. I says, you guys are gonna, when you pick a team, you wanna pick a team that's on your page. Anyway, what would the possible action be?
I don't think there is any
Yeah,
of
we
this.
So we know
Yeah.
more information, there's no action.
The same person
But
Yeah.
the deadline for the check writing thing, wasn't that proposal due today? No, Monday.
No, it's,
Did they postpone it?
Monday is the meeting, so you know what you gotta do. And then we will make a decision at the board meeting on the 27th.
Okay, but this proposal
So-
would have to be where.
So she's got,
You can
Carla
bring
will have a week and 2 days. I suppose I could bring the proposal with her. I don't know if it has to be emailed or what.
But we never got notification of this, did we?
I got the email they were supposed to send it to Carla, but never did. So I finally forwarded it to her,
Okay,
which I should have
she
done.
has it now.
I should have just done right away. And, because I assumed you were on the, in case the auditors were the ones that needed it. Okay, well, then we'll move on to consider for approval request from Forest City entrepreneurial class to use courthouse grounds.
Who are these guys?
Must be something out of the
It's
school.
a class at school that the kids are,
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Where have I seen that name before? Too bad I don't have to spell it every time I write something down.
The second year.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the request for the Forest City entrepreneurial class to use courthouse grounds.
I'll make a motion from Derby and a second from Stenger to approve the Forest City entrepreneurial class to use the courthouse grounds.
That's Monday, September 18th.
Monday, September 18th,
11 to 4.
11 to 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye.
alright,
Okay, set public hearing for and approve amended resolution for sale of law enforcement center.
this was my fault. I didn't, was on the agenda last week, so we've gotta redo this.
Well, didn't you have it down?
Didn't get into the computer, I suppose.
Oh, I had it written down on my sheet, I just didn't get it on the,
Yeah, but who typed it in there? I thought Chris said that she.
well, we both look at it, and we both are supposed to, I mean, we both screwed up, so.
Yeah.
It's my office though, so I take
All right,
the blame.
you get to take the heat.
So we're looking at October 3rd at 10 a.m.
Mhm.
I'll make that a motion to approve the resolution to set the public hearing for the process to dispose of the law enforcement.
Second.
Motion from Derby and second from Stenger to set the public hearing for and approve amended resolution for the sale of law enforcement center for October 3rd
10 a.m.
at 10 a.m. All in favor, say aye.
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 And just so you know, when I wrote the resolution, I put it on the agenda at the same time, so.
Okay, all right. Well, I knew that it was supposed to be last Tuesday too, and did not remember it until reminded us.
If we'd thought of it at the beginning, we could have possibly
Amended the agenda.
amended the agenda because it was discussed at a previous meeting.
Yeah,
And then notified to the public.
by the time we figured it out,
Yeah, we all got it.
that Mike was already gone, so.
But at the beginning,
Yeah.
we should have had it.
Could we have done it after the fact? After the,
I'll have to get adjourned.
Not if you set the
oh, if we
agenda.
adjourned it, then we was all over it. Okay, yeah. Can't unadjourn ourselves. Okay, then open forum.
Chris wanted us to call her. Open
I
forum.
can certainly do that.
So did you get the email and the invitation to the, you get to go or? I haven't looked at the calendar yet. My daughter's got a volleyball.
Your call has been answered by a VIA IP office. Chris Oswald is not available. To leave a message, wait for the tone. When finished recording, press pound for more options. Record at the tone.
Hello, does anybody work here?
Should have hung it up.
It's not the right thing to say to her.
That's gonna start a firestorm.
Should have hung it up so quick. I was gonna say, where the hell is she at now?
She's on the phone.
It's Friday, I had to do it.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, hello, does anybody work here? I said, I'm a mess.
And they hung it up a little too quick, otherwise I was gonna say, where the hell is she at now?
So just as a piece of advice, advice, I would avoid the auditor's office for about the next 2 weeks.
That's just continual.
Of course, then I had, the hell was it?
Does that have approved on it? Or just sign?
Was it that,
Resolution.
just sign?
Had something that we approved or whatever, and I had it, and I got it in between the map that Scott gave me and my agenda, and Chris calls me up, goes, where is, I can't remember what it was now. And I says, do you have it? I says, I hope not. So then I got to turn around right back to, good news was that I was only out there right into the system.
Well, for their open forum, I was notified by the city that they are looking at drainage problems out of Prairie View. Coming to the county itself. It's all storm sewer issues out there. But they're gonna do some engineering first.
Did you sign all those?
Oh, that's right, all the signatures are in the one, right?
Yeah.
It's just
That one.
we got to go through the approval process.
I think you all have to sign them.
That looks like there's 3 spots.
And there's, I think there's like 5 different, I think it's just
Should
in this
we-
one book.
One book for all three.
All right, you can start signing that one.
I think they're all up at the front.
Is it all,
Let me see.
no, there's,
Okay, yep,
each
and
one's,
there's all sorts of fun stuff.
So just under the chairperson.
You're always finding good stuff for them to do.
Hi.
hello,
Listen to your voicemail.
Okay.
Would you sign that for me?
and I forget to send something else.
Yeah, that's the second one I called you on, because you signed the front page, but not the back page, on the top of the line. Okay, thank you.
And then Helgeson, we had them out there doing DD3, lat 5, and then lat 7 over west of Thompson.
Cleaning the ditch there.
Yeah, so they cleaned the one that was going from the main of 3 over east into Jerry Artovic's. They
Yeah.
cleaned that. Now they're doing the Neil Stephenson one that goes south.
Yeah, 7. I
Yeah,
think it is, yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know if any of you realized, but he sent me an estimate after we've already told him, yeah, go ahead, blah, blah. It's $49,000 to clean that ditch.
How much distance? 3 miles.
No,
No, because this is a mile.
maybe 3 miles.
So that just,
Why- I asked him to give us an estimate, I assumed we would get the estimate before the work started.
well, we pretty much just told him to do it. It's $325 a foot. And then because of all the spoiling and stuff, that's another 75 cents a foot. So
Well, that's not
he's
all
got
it is.
12,000 feet.
That's not out, oh, that's all? That's not out of line for
the cost.
all the contractors with the exception of Larson.
Right.
Okay.
I just was kind of shocked, you know, you get this $49,000 bill that I had told no one that was gonna come.
Right. I would just assume that we were gonna get it ahead of time, because we told him that.
I mean, I know I told him to do it because he was right there. Why would we not have him do it when he's right there?
What's he charging per foot on the one he was cleaning out currently?
Oh, I don't have that. I
I
don't-
assume it would be similar.
I'm,
She
right,
said it was a lot
right.
shorter.
How much stuff is it, too, and how deep it was?
Yeah, and he said this is a mess because it hasn't been cleaned in forever and a day.
Yeah,
So, and I said, you know, obviously if there's parts that don't need it, you just keep moving. So, as long as you guys are okay with it, I mean, I'm okay with it, but Neil Stevenson's gonna get hit.
he's the one wanted it.
Yeah, but did he know this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It matters, but it doesn't, because
I know.
once the request is made, it's set in
So
stone.
Larson
You
is
just
busy.
know how I feel about it when people owe a lot of money.
It would, you know, maybe it would've been all right to get bids or something, I guess, but,
I don't know, and-
Pretty busy, aren't they? I mean.
We need them to finish the projects they have contracts
Yeah,
for, yes.
Yeah, so our only option are the other contractors.
Right.
So therefore.
And I don't think they're out of line, I just,
Yeah.
No.
it's a lot. So I'm gonna send out the informational letter that it's being done, but I just wanted you guys to know that.
I don't think, you know, he wanted it done bad, so.
Okay. So as long as everybody's okay and knows about it, so if you get questions, that's it. And the DOT on that DD 54-6 ditch, they're already gonna send a check for their portion. So, nice. So I don't have to do stamped warrants. I can just write a check to Larson. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Chris. Monday, you know, there's that meeting in Waterloo for, I scheduled my recount for Monday,
You sure did.
so guess who gets to go to Waterloo with Bill?
Monday. Okay. What time we leaving, Bill?
It starts at 10, was it? Waterloo would be, where?
2 hours.
Be a good strong 2 hours from here, probably we were gonna.
We can
It's
leave
on
it.
the north side of Waterloo, it's 147 miles to the truck stop on the south side of Waterloo. From Boston.
Well, I know for me to get to the Cedar Falls to Janesville, I have to stop at Janesville, and then I get to Cedar Falls, it's 2 hours. So if we're on the north side,
Stop and fill her Diet Coke and go to the bathroom at least once, so
yes,
you probably want to leave about 7:30.
7:30 sounds good.
My advice to you is dehydrate yourself. You're riding with the bionic bladder.
All right, so
No, yeah, so we'll probably leave Forest City by,
7:30,
7:30 then if you need to, yeah.
because we have to stop at the Casey's on the way out of town.
Oh, all right, well, then we'll leave at 7:30, otherwise, going from Forest City would probably be fine.
Or meet at Casey's.
No, we just meet here. Yeah, we'll just meet at the courthouse.
All right, I'll be here at 7:30 then.
And I can drive too if you want, I mean, you drive all the time, so it's up to you.
It's fine, man. Trained professional.
True. I'm not. Okay, so Monday at 7:30, I have to be early.
Even though nothing can scare me after riding with Carla.
This is so true. I've ridden with her.
She rode with me yesterday. It was good stuff. I have not killed anyone yet. It's fine.
It has not been proven that you killed anyone yet.
Well, just because the level of stress didn't get me to a heart attack doesn't mean that it can't get somebody. I suppose we can blame it on my diet.
How does he survive a week in this office with you two? That's what I want to know.
This was,
I was a race car driver in a former life. It's carried over.
I've seen you on 69. I believe it.
It's all right.
I came into town 10 minutes to 7 this morning, going through the stoplight. That was a crazy thing, because you could tell there's people coming from both ways the other way, so you knew the light was gonna turn. Everybody's jockeying back and forth, guessing if they're gonna have to turn to go, see quarter or to go straight through. It's like, wow. No blinkers, just everybody.
Mark tells me at 5 o'clock in the morning, up there on the awkward four-way, he'll come driving through, and invariably, all the people from Winnebago are coming south. All the people that are leaving, for whatever reason, they're doing funky things. He says, it's taking your life in your own hands. So sometimes he'll just go right through the K-Way parking lot because it's much safer than to hit that intersection and cut out. It's just, this town is crazy. Between 5 and 7 o'clock in the morning, it is crazy.
It's almost like they need to complete a 4-lane through town.
Yeah.
Because that transition at the bridge is not good.
No. I've often joked with Mark, I said, we really do need a traffic helicopter out there, just for the fun giggles of it.
If they're gonna do an improvement on that land at K-Way to a quick start, they may think about having a right turn lane there
I would,
and have 4 lanes going on.
be nice if they somehow straighten that out.
The one on the truck stop K-Way one, it's gonna be a quick start.
They're closing a week from Monday, or they're gonna be, they said 2 weeks last Monday, so.
It'd be a week from Monday,
Yeah.
they close up.
I used to spend a lot of time with the wrappers when I was going to Waldorf.
Yeah.
Goldie made the best mixed beans or whatever.
I'll tell you this much, the firefighters had no clue how to handle that intersection. Because there were guys that were going on the outside lane that were making turns up north onto 69. So you had 2 people turning at the same time, thinking that that was a turning lane on the outside lane, on the south side. And I was on my bike and I was coming down, and I watched 2 guys nearly hit each other because one's trying to negotiate that outside turn. Of course, that road's a little bit more narrow. And they narrowly came after each other, so this guy swerved right into me, and I just went right over into the turning lane and then came back over, because I've got a pretty good balanced bike, and I was just able to wheel back over and come back over. But I looked over, and now there's 2 firefighter insignias inside the car. I knew exactly what was going on. You know, that intersection is so unclear as to how it all is handled, because the arrows will fool you every time.
If you can see them.
Yeah, you barely can, that's the problem.
Stand adjourned.
I went to Appleton the other night, on the way home, I went to on Highway 3 in Hampton, and I go by the McDonald's